Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Back with a vengeance here for UFC Fight Night. Umar Nurmagomedov
Shanghai.
versus Song Yadong, man.
I'm excited.
It'll be good. Me personally, I will not be waking up at 2 in the morning for the prelims, but I will do my best to drag my ass out of bed and watch at least the main card, at least.
Absolutely. We'll be there. We will be there.
Yeah, I know you didn't want to spend an all-nighter with me, because you hate me and you want me to die, but then I remembered I'm out of town this weekend anyways, so spending time with family
We'll watch it in bed. That's the way to do it.
together. There's big things happening. You know what? This card it'll be okay. It's not the most amazing thing. We're kind of slowing down a little bit. We're kind of in a little bit of a slump right now, but things are going to pick up here really soon in the UFC. But I guess let's start with how we usually do prelims, man. There's some couple of heaters on here. Is there anything that stands out to you on the prelims?
I really got to look out for my boy Sean Woodson, former heavyweight, now featherweight, St. Louis born and raised. Gotta root for my boy.
You say former heavyweight?
Former heavyweight boxer, yeah.
He was a heavyweight boxer?
Yeah, he looks disgusting, but that's beside the point. Can't disrespect my boy.
Besides the point.
Excited for that fight. Hopefully he catches a win. And Rei Tsuruya versus Kevin Boras. Rei Tsuruya, only loss on his record is from the current champion of the flyweight division.
Joshua Vaughn, man. Joshua Vaughn.
I'm excited to see that fight with Kevin Boras. He's a one-punch power flyweight, which is kind of crazy. I hope he can keep the fight standing, Kevin Boras. But I think Rei is just going to probably force some scrambles and hopefully try to get some takedowns. But I think Kevin Boras is probably going to lose. But I think that'd be a good value pick for a good finish from him. So yeah, let's jump into the main card. I don't know about you. What do you have anything for the prelims?
Yeah, we already know prelims at least, man. Come on. I mean, Ding Meng, I was looking at this one. Kind of a heater. He's got the Brazilian 10 on his record. He's got a lot of finishes, man. Ding Meng. I think that for the early prelims, I was like, who is this guy? I did a little research. You know what? I think we're going to start off a little hot. Ding Meng, I think he has, let me open it up here, 28 knockouts wins. 28 knockout wins.
That's impressive.
That's amazing. I don't give a shit what like I'm going to pull up. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull it up real quick right here. You'll see it once you watch the video. An absolutely comically long just amount of knockouts. I think he's only lost twice by knockout. His most recent losses coming split decision and a unanimous decision. Give me Ding Meng by knockout, man. Fuck Cam Nelson. There's a reason that picture, man. Give me Ding Meng by knockout. That's one of my sneaky picks on the early prelims. I think you get pretty good odds too. Anyways, besides that, yeah, I mean Lawrence Liu, New Zealander. This one I'm a little interested to see. But yeah, Sean Woodson, he's gonna get it done via decision. I think Jack Jenkins is gonna have a lot of issue with his range, and I think Sean Woodson's gonna be fairly comfortable. I mean, coming off a loss against Dan Ige, a knockout that wasn't really a knockout.
Early
a
stoppage.
little early stoppage, but I can see why they stopped it. It wasn't like he was getting out colded, but he was kind of just stuck, against the cage, trying to eventually rotate out. But one of the few times Dan Ige actually decided to, fight back or throw some punches. So we'll see, but I think Sean Woodson gets it done via decision. I think Jenkins is going to struggle with that range. And then Tsuruya, I think I already locked it in, actually. I want to take him via submission, but I think he can just get the knockout. I hate to say it. Kevin Borjas is kind of a guy that is just meant to be walked through. And I think Rei Tsuruya just has a little bit of everything, man. His arsenal is pretty lethal, but I think he gets this done via knockout. I'm thinking, what would I put in the second round? That's when I think he gets it. That's all I got for that. And then, yeah, let's move on to the main card here. Bilal Hassan versus Nilson Rojas. Kind of a little sneaky little banger here, giving us some flyweight bout, a little bit of action. Hassan hits pretty hard. I think I don't necessarily think Hassan is going to be able to get the finish. I think he gets this one via done decision, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if you want like a pick, I'm going via decision at least just for a little bit of value. I think that, yeah, we're still at flyweight. This guy does have a lot of knockout power, but you have to remember this is flyweight as one of the lower finish rates in all the men's divisions at least. And I'm, willing to take a flyer on a minus 800 favorite to at least get it done. I don't think he'll have any issues with Rojas. I don't think we've seen Rojas be finished yet. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's been finished yet either. So I think that Rojas can at least wear some of this damage and take it into a later round. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see him unintelligently defending himself and it does get stopped. But I'd like to think Hassan, even with all that knockout power, will just struggle to find the finish in this at least. So give me Hassan via decision for a little sneaky flyer pick.
I'm gonna say Hassan via knockout. I know that's kind of probably played out, maybe, but I'm thinking Rojas is probably gonna try to smother him and try to eliminate that kickboxing base that Hassan has, and I genuinely think Hassan is gonna catch him. So give me second round knockout by Bilal Hassan.
Yep. No, it's fireworks, man. Hassan coming in with the hot hands. I mean, if you look at the UFC website, it's kind of funny. Strikes, I think it's also glitched out because, of course, the small multi-billion dollar fight promotion doesn't have any pictures of Rojas or have any of his stats. I believe it's Rojas's debut in the UFC, if I'm correct. Let me just pull it up to confirm. Yes, it is. Yeah, so we just have zeros all across the board. But I mean, 28 strikes landed per minute, 80% of those being significant. Uh, we'll see. We'll see. It'll be
Might be a
interesting.
banger. Might be a banger.
It might be a heater, dude. But I do think Hassan gets it done. Moving on next here, Luce versus Levi Rodriguez. Of course, there's no pictures of either of them for this small multi-billion-dollar corporation that wants you to pay a subscription. But that's besides the point. That's not what we're here to talk about. Any notes here for this matchup here at light heavyweight?
I think wasn't this a fill-in? I think Levi Rodriguez was a fill-in, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, Luce, I think this could be exciting if Luce just gets a finish, maybe round 1 or 2. But I mean, I feel like a lot of these bigger guys will just go out there and try to swing for the fences. And I think a good depiction of that is like Alonzo Menifield in the light heavyweight division. We saw him in St. Louis get knocked out by Carlos Ulberg, who's a big counterpuncher. So I'm gonna do Luce by knockout, but I will not be surprised if he's either taken down and grappled and then gassed out by the third round and loses via decision, or or just gets controlled. Yeah, so we shall see.
Yeah, we shall see. Yeah, I too think Luce. I mean, he's in the hometown, man. I think he's gonna come out a little bit more aggressive. He has been knocked out before. Felipe Franco has also been finished, I believe, only once via submission. Or no, not Felipe Franco. Sorry, I was looking at his last fight. Levi Rodriguez. Let me go back here. Actually, yeah, he's coming off a knockout loss. And I mean, when you look at both of the records, it's knockouts all across the board. So it's extremely hard to pick a winner. I think this probably should have been more closer to a pick 'em more than anything. Coming in at almost like a minus 200 favorite, but I am going to be taking Luce via knockout in the second round. I think I think the home crowd gets behind him. He gets it done. I don't think it'll be easy. By no means will it be easy. Yeah.
I agree.
Moving on to the next one, Alex Perez versus Sumaderji. This is the second time I believe they matched up. Their last matchup, I think Sumaderji blew up the nuts of Alex Perez, if I'm correct, and had him vomiting everywhere from a front teep, I believe. So it's big nothing. I guess we just won't know. We won't know. We're just here to see the rematch. I don't know, man. I don't have too much to say about this one. I think that Sumaderji, though, I think he does get a finish, at least in some of the later rounds. The reach is coming in at a pretty big advantage, almost 7-inch reach advantage against someone like Alex Perez, um, who is going to try and take him down. I think he's going to try and utilize some wrestling, but if he's not able to kind of find the shot, especially at range where he's kind of getting pieced up by someone like Sumaderji, I think that's going to cause some problems. I think that's going to cause a lot of problems for him. And I would like to think that Sumaderji at least gets it done via late finish against someone like Alex Perez, who I think he's okay on the feet. I don't think he's anything spectacular. He did knock out our boy Alex Johnson. Rest in peace. Shout out, Charles Johnson. My bad. Shout out Charles Johnson. But this was earlier this year, and we can kind of see the writing on the wall that someone like Charles Johnson is pretty chinny. Like, he is pretty chinny. And then Perez has been finished. You ready for this? Got knocked out by Tatsuro Taira. Known grappler, Tatsuro Taira. Known grappler.
Does history repeat itself?
We'll see. But give me Sumaderji via finish. Knockout late.
I'm going to echo everything you said there. I think Sumaderji is going to probably piece him up. I'm not going to say knockout explicitly. I'd be probably doing a double chance knockout or decision win by Sumaderji. But I think Alex Perez, his last fight was when he got his nuts blown out.
Yep.
And then the fight before that was against Charles Johnson, if I'm not mistaken, knocked him out. So,
yep.
I don't know. He's probably looking for some redemption. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, if you look back at their last matchup too, Sumaderji had more control time. He defended both takedowns that Perez shot and had no issue working some of those just working his strikes distance to the head, a little bit to the body. It wasn't afraid to attack the legs. Only 6 for 6. You can't really say too much about it, especially when it came in round 2. But I think Sumaderji is. I would like to think he would pick up the pace in this one, but I would not be surprised if he does get a decision win. I think it's pretty, between the. We'll see. We'll find out Saturday morning, not Saturday night. We'll find out Saturday morning.
Friday night.
Friday night. Yeah. So we'll see. Moving on. What you got here on our boy Kai Asakura moving up a weight class, correct?
Yeah. I'm excited to see this fight. Kai Asakura was a rising champion, I believe. Great striker. Can be counter grapple, but I don't think I'm not even going to try to pronounce his opponent's name. I don't know if you know, but I think he gets finished. I think this is going to be a brawl in the pocket, and then likely. These guys are both known strikers. I think Kai Asakura probably gets it done in round 1 or 2. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with you there. Kai Asakura does carry a lot of power in those hands. There isn't really too much to say about his opponent. Arekuleng, that's not how you say it, obviously. I don't know how to say it. He's just coming off a KO loss in May. We're not really too far off of that. When you look at his record, it isn't anything like, we got what? Loss, win, loss, no contest, win, loss, win. But these wins are all from 2022, end of 2025, 2023. It's this. I would say this is a pretty, not a layup per se, but I think this is a very expected outcome for someone like Kai Asakura, who we know has the talent. We'll see how well he fits into the UFC as he gets a little more work in. Did knock out Cameron Smotherman. People forget, man. It's a pretty good win. Yes, losing to submission against Tim Elliott, it happens. A younger talent, not young, but a younger at 32. They need a bad loss. The Pantoja loss, not surprised. I really don't know why they made that matchup. I think they felt like they had to. But losing
They were
to
trying
someone,
to create some star power. I think they're trying to
yeah,
tap into that Asian market with Ryzen being a big promotion out there. So, I mean, he's definitely got star power, and I know they're trying to develop that market a little bit
yeah.
more.
And to be
So, I think
fair,
they're trying to build him up.
yeah, and to be fair, flyweight, there was no contenders. There was no real obvious contenders back in 2024. We have true like content. There is a list of guys who should be fighting for the belt now. We didn't have
Oh
that
yeah,
really. Pantoja cleared the whole division out. And now we have, people who have all, we're gonna get, the Joshua
Manel
Vaughn
Kape,
matchup. Elite.
Manel Kape,
Manel Kopp. Um, I'm not
Horiguchi maybe,
I'm
Horiguchi
not too
maybe.
sold on the Horiguchi stuff yet. I'm this close to being sold on it. Um, I don't think he'll fight for the belt anytime soon. I think he needs to get at least a couple wins under his belt before he does. But we're not talking about flyweights. We're talking about Kai Asakura. Kai Asakura will be getting this done via knockout, I think, very early. If not round 1, is coming early round 2.
Yep.
Okay. I'm glad we agree on that. At least we got something. Moving on. Xiaonon, forgive me.
Yan Xiaonon.
Xiaonon. I was close.
Yeah.
Versus Denise Gomez. I don't really have too much to say here. I'd like to think Yan Xiaonan is able to eke out at least a decision win here against someone like Denise Gomez, but I think it could be pretty close. It's hard to say because Yan Xiaonan, we haven't seen her since April of last year, coming off a decision loss to Verna Jandaroba, which hasn't ended terribly.
That's not a bad loss.
It's
Verna
not a
Jandaroba is a
yeah,
top contender.
and
I
it's
mean, she lost to Zhang Weili. She's beat Mackenzie Dern. I mean,
yep, yeah, lost. Yeah, he lost to Shangwei Li, beat someone like Tabitha Ritchie, which that win doesn't really say anything. Tabitha Ritchie's just hasn't been very good to our girl. Did beat Mackenzie Dern via majority decision in 2022. So it's hard to say. We haven't really seen her in a hot minute. Going against someone like Denise Gomez. Denise Gomez, 26, young Brazilian, racking up quite a few wins here. Her most one against Tisha Pennington, which doesn't really do anything for me. I think it could be close, but I think we got to go with Yan Xiaonan via decision. I think some of her experience against, I think some of her experience against some of these higher level opponents is going to give her an advantage. I mean, she is 37. It's possible she could slow down a little bit and have, the younger 26-year-old Denise Gomez have more of it, maybe more of a gas tank, maybe more, but she's coming in with less fight IQ. I think Denise Gomez is coming with less fight IQ. I don't think if Denise Gomez did lose, I don't think it'll be a bad loss, but actually, you know what? I'm switching my pick. I went with Yang Jian'an via decision. I just talked myself into Denise Gomez via decision. Fade me. This is not going to hit, but I think we're seeing a lot of these young contenders being able to step in and kind of change some of the older guard. And I think at 37 years old, someone like Yan Xiaonan, she's had kind of her time under the sun. I think it's time for someone new to step in. So I'm going to give me Denise Gomez via decision. I'm not.
I honestly, I was looking at some of the stats when you were chatting about that, and I agree. Like, I think Denise Gomez. I mean, it's a huge jump up, but Yan Xiaonan is getting up there in age, and she has the hometown advantage. But I really think Denise Gomez is a more well-rounded fighter. I think Yan Xiaonan has better fight IQ, but I think Denise Gomez is probably going to take it to the ground and turn it into a brawl. I think utilizing that offensive grappling is really going to take advantage of Yan Xiaonan's maybe even gas tank. I don't know. But we've seen Yan Xiaonan get out wrestled before. I mean, we watched her get smothered by Zhang Weili at UFC 300.
And
So
got absolutely
and Janjanova, yes.
manhandled.
So I mean, another Brazilian fighter, young, very quick, good submission finish average and good KO average. I think Denise Gomez gets it done. I don't know if it's going to be a submission per se. I think Yan Xiaonan uh, can take some hits, but I think it's going to be a tough fight for both of them. But I'm going to have to go with you, Denise Gomez. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
she wins by decision or maybe even a submission.
yeah. Let's take it. Let's take it and run with it, man. Denise Gomez, make us proud. Let me change my pick here real quick on the Verdict MMA app. Follow us on Verdict MMA. Let me change that over real quick. I'm glad that we could convince
Talk this
ourselves
one out.
talk
Yeah,
this one
yeah.
out. But yeah, let's and then finally moving on to the main event.
I'm excited.
Honestly, I don't know, man. I don't know.
They're just cycling top contenders around each other and so, until they get their shot at the belt.
Pretty
That's what they're doing.
much. What's your thoughts on this one? Who
I
wins?
uh, I think Umar Nurmagomedov's striking is leaves a lot to be desired. I think Umar is nowhere near the level of striking as he is a grappler, obviously, but
Mhm.
also when you look at other people like Islam Makhachev, who's finishing people on the feet. I mean, hasn't been a minute, granted, but is a finisher as well. He's not going to be able to finish Song Yadong on the feet. I don't think. I don't think he knocks out Song Yadong. I mean, Song Yadong can
Mhm.
eat shots. So, but at the same time, Song Yadong has been out grappled, and uh, I think Song Yadong has a chance of getting it done by just outstriking him, and if he's able to stuff the takedowns. But I think the I think the Dagestanis are inevitable, and I think Umar gets it done and calls out probably Peter Yan, or even I mean they haven't booked the fight between Peter Yan and Marab yet. I'm assuming that's going to be the rematch, but I think Umar is going to call them out and probably get a decision win. I think that's my thoughts exactly, and it's just chain wrestling. It's not the most exciting, but I really do hope Song Yadong wins. I think that definitely makes things more interesting for the division. But at the same time, if he does beat uh, Umar, I mean, he's going up against Marab, who will definitely beat him, or Peter Yan, who has beat him. So I don't know.
Yep.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah. What was it? The fight promo video? Some interview him had him on a digital, like a Zoom call, almost like a Skype call, where what was it? Umar said he said something along the lines of, "I'm going to put you inside control for 25 minutes and drag you to deep, like the deep." This shit is gonna be boring. I hate to say it. This is gonna be most likely very boring. I do not like Umar. I think he is probably one of my least favorite Dagestanis. There was a time where at least he was interesting in his striking, but we saw how effective his striking was when he broke his hand. He did break his hand against Marab, so it's hard for me to
Yeah,
sit here and say he's a bad striker. I think he's pretty good. What was it? He beat Mario Batista. He beat Corey Sandhagen. He's beat guys like this. And Song Yadong, when you look at his resume, at least recently in the past 3 years, um, a loss via decision loss to Peter Yan, a decision loss to Sean. And that fight was pretty close. Wasn't that Sean O'Malley fight was pretty close,
very close.
admittedly.
Very close.
I don't know, man. If you want my pick, I am taking Song Yadong. I'm taking Song Yadong via decision. Am I confident in this? No. I am not very confident at all. Only because we haven't really seen his grappling get truly tested. But I think he could do it. I think he could surprise us. And I don't think Umar's anything after. Okay, what? He laid on top control against Figueiredo for 15 minutes, right? In his last fight as like a 16-1 favorite. It was one of the worst things I've ever watched. Didn't do a goddamn thing. I would like to think that Song Yadong doesn't accept a position like that. I don't think Song Yadong is exactly going to sit there for a whole 25 minutes, and you know, just sit there and do absolutely nothing. And we've seen Song go into these later rounds. He's had two fights where in round 4 or 5. Umar's also had, a couple fights into some of these championship rounds. as well in the past 3 years. So I don't think the gas tank is what loses Umar this. I think it's poor striking on the feet that would lose Umar this fight. And he was getting pieced up on the feet against someone like Marab, who is a notoriously terrible dog shit striker. So we'll see. We'll see. Song, you gotta save us, man. You gotta save. You gotta save. Song
I'm telling
Yadong,
you.
if you can hear me, dude, save me, Song Yadong. I cannot watch. I cannot watch this
I
shit.
want him to win. I want him to win.
It's gonna be so bad if he doesn't. It's
They're gonna
genuine.
boo. They're gonna boo. No.
And they should. There's a reason they put fucking Umar on the prelims against Figueiredo. That shit was terrible. That fight sucked. So we'll see. We'll see.
It's locked in.
It's locked in. It's locked in. Let's recap the picks real quick. You want to start? I can start here.
Yeah, I'll start. If I recall correctly, I had. I'm going to start off with the main card, if I'm not mistaken. Is the first fight of the main card Rojas versus Hassan? I do believe so.
Nelson versus Ding Meng. Are you talking main card?
Main card, main card.
It's Hassan versus Rojas. Yeah.
Yeah, I had Hassan versus via finish. I'm not going to say the round because I don't want to jinx myself. Luce via finish. Sumaderji via decision or finish. Asakura via first round or second round finish. Denise Gomez via submission or decision. And Umar Nurmagomedov by decision. Those are my official picks.
Yeah. Yeah. Going into the prelims, I'll stick to the main card for now. Yeah. I went with Hassan via decision. We got Luce, second round knockout. We got Sumaderji, third round finish. These are the verdict MMA predictions. I will pull up my bet card here very shortly. Asakura, first round knockout. Gomez via decision. And then last Yadong via decision. Moving on to the bet slip, though.
The leg.
Yeah, here we go. Song Yadong, money line and over 2.5 rounds at a plus 700. A little flyer on that. I'd put 0.15 units on that. I don't expect that to actually return anything. It's just a little fun. Get the sweat going. Sean Woodson put a full unit on that. Into the six-legger for six-legger Saturday. We got Andre Lima, Sumaderji, Asakura by knockout. Rei Tsuruya via decision or submission. Which, actually, let me make sure that doesn't contradict with what I was putting on my card earlier. Sorry, just making sure this is good to go. Let me actually update that super quick. Need to update that leg. Forgot that I made this earlier today before I finalized some of my picks. So let me redo this real quick. We'll update Rei Tsuruya on the six-legger to be via knockout. Give me 1 second here. Sorry.
All good, mate.
Tsuruya via knockout. Oh, yeah, that just boosted the hell out of these odds. You have no idea.
Value. We're searching
This is
value. Seeking alpha.
Sean Woodson via decision. Che Lu versus knockout. Are you ready for this one?
Yeah, let's hear it.
This is plus 7,596.
Instant
lock, dude.
lock.
Put it in, dude. Put it in. Put a dollar on that just for some funsies. I always do it. You know, maybe buy yourself a pizza at the end of the night. It's probably not hitting. Actually, I've hit 2 this year, or this year so far. I think I'm 2 for 6 right now.
6-leggers. They might be magical.
It's terrible. Don't do it. It's stupid. Yeah.
Little units, big payout.
Exactly, man. What was it? Scare money makes zero money. I'd like to think it's like a little it's like a roulette. You know, it's like you're playing roulette.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'm also gonna add to my card here really quick, Gomez v decision plus 270. Put a unit on. Actually, I'll put half a unit on that. I'll put half a unit on that. Not putting a full unit on that. And then yeah, I think that's really about it for myself. Nothing too special. I'm also gonna add that Hassan. Actually, I don't like that. Mm, I don't know. This one's kind of tough. Put the Hassan. I'm not gonna touch the Hassan fight. I'll take the over 1.5 rounds though at -150. I'll put a third of a unit on that. Actually, I'll put a half on that. Outside of that, that's all I got. Anything on your bet slip that stands out before we finish up the video?
I'll place that tonight. I'll place that tonight. I have my picks.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
reflect on that, and we'll ride with it. But
There's big things happening, man. I will say last week, picks were not fantastic. I try to get cute with some of these, but sometimes you just gotta let your nuts hang, guys. Sometimes you just gotta
that's
let your
right.
nuts hang. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, follow, do whatever. We appreciate you tuning in, and let's make some money, hopefully, and let's just keep things going, man. Just keep on
That's right.
rolling. Keep on rolling.